What do you wish you had in high school that kids have today? An environment in which being smart is a good thing, and nerdy is not a bad thing. It still boggles my mind how mainstream media, such as anime and superheroes, hell, even video games, are now. When I was in high school, liking those things still made you a bit of an outcast. Greater than anime. Anime is still a very fine line. If you're too vocal in public about anime, you become the schoolweeb. If you're into anime but still have a life outside of it, then you're all good. My son is in his high school's robotics team this year. They have tons of tools to build robots to compete, including a big machine that cuts sheets of metal based on what digital file you send it. I'd have loved to have had that. When I was in high school, the most advanced tool I had access to was a dot matrix printer. I wowed my classmates with my complex report covers made with word art and highly pixelated graphics. Greater than word art peak visual design. Yeah, I mentor a first robotics team, and this is exactly what I would have wanted in high school. I was a total geek who was terrified of public speaking. Robotics would have given me a chance to use my skills and interests instead of hiding them. Make friends with like-minded people and learn to communicate better. My high school had all kinds of sports teams and music clubs and drama and debate clubs and such. But if you were a nerdy kid like me, your options were chess club. Robotics turned me into a full human. Public speaking, working with others, and in general being out of my shell. Not just on the teams but as a referee and head referee. One of the best experiences in my life. The internet. I was able to use the internet for a project during my senior year. Really made me wish I'd had it my whole life. This project usually took 3 months, but I had it done in a week because most of that time was normally spent fact-finding. MP3 players, Spotify and the like. I had to carry around my Discman on my long walk home from school. Even with anti-skip it would still buffer every now and then. Don't get me started on batteries too. Nowadays it's so easy to listen to anything at any time. Back then it wasn't. I'm still discovering new music from 20 plus years ago thanks to Spotify. So much easier than sitting next to the radio with your finger on the record button so you could capture your favorite songs on cassette tape. Class of 1984. A word processing program, monsieur. I cannot write or type for shit. I have dysgraphia. If I could have been able to get words on paper as easily as we can do now, who knows how my life might have turned out. This is something I'll never ever take for granted. I hate online textbooks, online gradebooks, and Dropbox assignments. But I really do love being able to type up assignments. Digital photography. I have so few pictures of friends and good times we had during high school because no one carried around a camera and bothered to get film developed. Of the ones we did have, most are long gone with no negatives to get them reproduced. Edit. To all of the folks saying to be glad because there aren't that many pictures to come back and haunt you. When you're in your 50s you'll be amazed at just how few people give a crap about the stupid stuff you did in high school. We all did stupid stuff. No one is unique in that aspect. You just grow to realize it wasn't really all that stupid. I was that annoying girl that brought her Canon DSLR with her every day and kept filming in shooting without consent. Don't know how and why I kept doing it even though everyone hated it. But now people are contacting me because they want to see photos from when they were teenagers. Programming classes. I seem to have just missed that after I graduated. I took my first high school programming class in spring of 1978. Khan Academy. It would have been cool to have access to Khan Academy when I went to school. It's still cool to have access to it today outside of school. The stuff you can learn on there is insane. The Holy Roman Empire was not holy, not Roman, and not an empire. 5 minutes later on the same website. How many muscles do I use when I shoot a free throw? Thanks LeBron. Let's take a look. Same damn website 5 minutes later. The quadratic formula is b plus or minus square root b squared 4ac 2a. All of this provided free of charge. Khan Academy is truly a gift to humankind. Greater than Khan Academy is truly a gift to humankind. Wikipedia and Wolfram Alpha have entered the chat. Probably cell phones. The ability to call or text an individual to find out where they are was a revolution but wasn't widespread until I was in college. Used to have to call their parents' house and hope they were there. The idea that once you left the house you were just in a communication black hole until you returned or actively called someone from a payphone is a big change from the modern day. You had to make plans the day or morning before. And then if anything happened to derail those plans, then whole thing was just a failure. I remember making the collect call and instead of my name I'd say, "Pick me up real quick," and after the message played my mom would decline the charges and know to pick me up. Ah, those were the days. We had a baby, he's a boy. Yeah, but fuck. Teachers were on a warpath when they first came out. Got my first in senior year and having a phone on you was like hiding Anne Frank from the Gestapo. Scratching your crotch. You're hiding a phone. Minute beep on your watch. Give me the phone. Remembered something funny and laughed out loud. Well, shit's shut down till you hand over the phone. Some teachers still do. However, most have sent up the white flag and actually incorporated more lax rules. For example, most teachers make a rule like no cell phones while they're lecturing, addressing the class. But it's fine if you're just working on worksheets or something and you're not just sitting there on it the whole class instead of working. Many also find ways to actively incorporate cell phones, tablets, or laptops into their lessons, which also makes it easier since they no longer have to worry about booking computer lab time and shuttling the class down to one when your lesson is on researching on the internet or whatever. Source. Was a substitute teacher for a while. Electricity. Username checks out. Betty had to walk up both hills to get a bucket full of it every morning before class. So this isn't a tangible thing I wish I had. But I have a 14-year-old son, and the one thing that I really admire about him and his entire friend group is that they are so open with their feelings with one another. It sounds cheesy, but it seems like kids in this current generation are much more okay with letting each other know they care. There's just an openness with them all that I find refreshing. It's something that I didn't experience in my sad goth staring out the window late 90s high school days. And I really love it about all those kids. Edit. A word. Edit 2. Thank you for the gold. To be honest, this entire thread has made my day. I am so happy that it seems like there are a bunch of kind kids growing up out there. I know there will always be turds in the punch bowl, but it makes me feel hopeful that the younger generation seems to be doing things right. I teach high school age drumline kids, mostly boys, and I am elated to say that I agree, and it's definitely this generation. Removed. When my teacher said that, I just showed her my Casio calculator watch. But was this in your pocket though, smartass? I'm in college as an older person ATM. And honestly, I wish I had the social dynamics lol. I was eating lunch and I heard two guys talking to each other and he was showing his friend something on his phone and he was like, "Bro, she's beautiful, I can totally see you guys together." And it seemed to make the other guy really happy. I don't know if he was maybe feeling insecure about how he looks or whatever, but you could tell it meant a bit to hi monsieur. It just seems less cliquey, less every man for themselves. I'm sure there's plenty of assholes, obviously, but just generally kids seem really nice and smart these days. A while ago someone in high school posted on here that being different means interesting and therefore cool. That's just mind-blowing compared to my high school time. Totally. I'm shocked, in a good way, at how supportive high school students are of each other compared to how it was when I was in school's late 90s, early I volunteered with my work to talk to high school students about bullying, and they could have educated us honestly. I see a lot of nothing responses, cherishing the lack of intrusive technology and privacy. But I feel like I missed out on the chance to really capture memories I would hang on to forever. The only real pictures I have of friends from the time are so limited that it makes me sad. I graduated in '06, and I have one packet of lab-developed pictures from one of those disposable snap-and-shoot cameras that a few of my friends and myself used. They are such fun pictures. They help me cherish the memories. Also, I was really into video editing at the time. My best friend and I were doing everything we could to film and edit lightsaber battles with force lightning, force pulls, etc. My father works in insurance, and he had a digital camera that recorded low-res images to a 3.5 floppy. It recorded about 12 seconds of grainy image per shoot. We made do, and we had a blast, but the idea of having a camera in our pocket that could easily film 4K and enable some truly epic short films? Bummer. Perhaps technology feels invasive in a sense, but it also gives you the ability to look back, and to innovate, and to explore. I know what you mean. I graduated in '98 and almost no one brought a camera to school. There's only one picture of me from my high school days, and it was a group photo of the art club that was featured in the yearbook, which I couldn't afford to purchase. If we had smartphones back then, I'd have so many pictures of me and my friends. Instead, I only have memories. Personally, having come from high school in the '90s when we did have internet, but it was more of a novelty. Wikipedia. Wikipedia is one of the greatest repositories of human knowledge, and you can see the sources. It would have been amazing for it to have been built out to where it is now while I was in high school. Get the Encarta, bruh. Better building and facilities. When I was at school, the place was falling apart, and a couple of years after I left, they knocked it down and rebuilt it with a state-of-the-art media center and technology and design department with 3D printers and SolidWorks CAD workstations. Most high schools are still falling apart. Makeup tutorials on YouTube. These kids these days have no idea how good they have it. I was looking like an orange-faced, pale neck, raccoon-eyed mess. Yep, teenagers are just skipping that whole shitty makeup period between like 13 to 16 BC of YouTube. It sounds corny, but Reddit. I first turned to Reddit when I was in college in 2014 because I had a weird thing going on in my dating life that I couldn't bother anyone else with in real life. Reddit advised me, and it really helped. Sometimes you just need to talk to strangers. As weird as that may sound, if I had known about Reddit in high school, I would have had some help or peace of mind figuring out my very confusing and sheltered high school years. Edit. Thanks for the gold. I didn't use Reddit in high school. I just didn't really understand its purpose. All the funny stuff was condensed on clickbait articles anyways. I recently stumbled across r applying to college, and I have to say, it would have helped immensely to read through groups like that online. The HPV vaccine. Friends. Still don't have those. A USB drive. If my project file size was too big, I had to carry like 5 floppy disks to school and spend entire homeroom and half of first period printing. I'm in high school and I've never seen anyone use a flash drive. Everyone just uses Google Drive because it's not a physical thing you can lose. As a fellow previous high school floppy disk user, this Google Drive comment makes it even worse. Stop rubbing it in. Edit. My wording was a bit weird, so I fixed it to clarify that I'm not currently in high school. In fact, I'm so old that I use DOS commands to play Who Framed Roger Rabbit on multiple 5.25 floppy disks on our family Commodore 64 when I was 6 and had to overwrite those free 3.5 AOL disks to use for class projects and report backups in high school. Like everyone else did, My kids think I'm kidding when I say that we had to learn computer typing, including regular WPM speed tests, at a designated class in school, and nobody had cell phones when I was a kid. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.